had Eric Logan come into town and give us a little pep talk.
Little pep talk. Sat right here in the studio.
He really
because
doesn't
our office
know.
isn't done.
He really doesn't know who he's dealing with. He's giving us a little pep talk and using all this corporate lingo. Anthony and I are looking at each other going, what?
Nothing against Eric, but I nodded off twice. I was scared I was going to snore. And it's nothing against, I mean, anyone could be in here. Tony Danza could be in here with all his thrill and, okay, maybe I should pick someone else.
Yeah. Well, the applause would wake you.
Right. But I twice, I found myself opening my eyes and going, oh, my God, how long was I out? Twice I did it. And then I had to, like, get up, lean forward, and contribute something to the meeting.
Well, I had a lot of analogies. The 2-bucket thing.
A lot of corporate analogy talk, yeah.
Yeah, 2 buckets. One of the things we can control, one of the things we can't control. Let's look at what we can do with this bucket. It was the worst.
It sunk in on you, though, Jimmy. You remember it.
Yeah, let's
tell you why,
the
because
bucket with the things we can control.
There are some things we can't control, and those just have to be put aside. Perhaps later they will go into the we can control it bucket. But right now, they're in the bucket of things we can't control.
Well, there's this other bucket that's empty over here, and that's the things that we can control.
See, one bucket has Jimmy's plummeting T-cell count in it. Those are things we can't control. And in the other one, there's condoms and things that he could have used. Right. Those are things we can control.
Right.
I don't care what bucket you use, Mr. Logan. Just get me one. I want to throw up. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
One bucket has snot that a girl by Jimmy's bed has been puking up into it.
It was hilarious.
Oh, he just had all the corporate lingo, and then the analogy he made.
I think we're just not used to people caring about our show and trying to bring us to the next level. We're used to just being our own bosses.
So we just do what we do.
And I think he's trying to maybe not control, but try to push us forward.
Contribute a little bit,
To his credit, I think he just wants to try to push us forward with this radio show. And,
help out.
And now that we're feeling a little more comfortable, we're starting to move the show forward. Right?
He made an analogy between the Yankees-Red Sox, which every corporate guy does in a meeting. You always take the topical event and spin it into an analogy that you could use to make your point. And Jimmy was not buying this analogy. I'm sitting here, and that I think is what woke me up, too. Is because Jimmy just was fighting this analogy tooth and nail.
Because it was, I forget exactly how he worded it, but it was like he absolutely made my point without meaning to.
Right.
He was talking about, we were talking about, obviously, Sirius and XM and just, how you look at one, and he's like, well, I mean, the Red Sox won this year because they weren't thinking about the Yankees. They were just going out to win, meaning we should worry about us. And I said, no, the Red Sox won because all they thought about was the Yankees, and they built that team to beat the Yankees. That's why they got Schilling. And he's like, well, yeah, but this is different because we're kind of in mid-season. That was the worst recovery.
And then I asked, what happens if there's a rain delay? And it completely screwed everyone up.
Then
I started bringing a tarp out onto the studio because I thought it was going to rain. The ump made a lousy call, and all of a sudden we don't have an office.
And we don't even have a porch to run under.
And if we're going to go with this baseball analogy, how about you build our stadium so we can play ball?
Right. How about where's our stadium? We're stuck here in the dugout.
Right.
We don't even have a field to play on.
We're still in the dugout. Our office is a mess.
There's a security's chasing an Oompa Loompa around the bases. How did he get on the field?
Right.
Eric's sitting there with his bloody sock trying to make things okay.
So it was a nice rah-rah speech, and the first email I got right after the meeting was, guys, you will not have a production studio for the rest of the week.
Yeah, thank you.
So there you go. That's going to help us push the show forward.
I thought we were moving forward. All of a sudden, Eric comes in and says, guys, we can't edit anything.
We can't produce anything for the next 4 or 5 days. So.
And he said because the studio is down.
Yeah, the studio's down.
Studio.
There's no office, but, we got to move our game forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was some good suggestions about maybe for the election, just go on live.
Jesus,
that was a good one. I like that one.
Jimmy just has to say this.
Why?
Yes, there was a suggestion made that perhaps, but I'm not sure if this was a literal suggestion. I believe it was just, it showed the ability that this program has to go on for any event. So he brought up one.
Yeah, let me just set it up really fast because we run this channel, this 202, this high voltage that we're still trying to change the name of. But
it's all ours, Toots.
Another thing that's not going anywhere, we want the channel to be Opie and Anthony's Virus or something that makes sense. But anyway, we run this channel, yes. So he wants us to start looking at opportunities to just kind of pop on at other times times of the day and do things.
For events.
Which we definitely want to do when we feel more comfortable with this radio show.
And they can also, he said, be opened up to the general population of subscribers on XM.
Right.
Instead of just the premium subscribers.
Yes.
If we did some kind of specialty program, they could open it up and give it out to everybody and turn everyone on to the Opie and Anthony show.
Right.
So one suggestion that was made, I think it was a random thing, maybe off the top of his head, was that we do an election coverage show on Election Eve, Opie.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, we come in here at maybe 7 o'clock at night, stay till midnight, and do a whole rundown of the election.
Can I that suggestion made my back hurt. It's first. Is anybody going to be? Look, I know the election is tonight or tomorrow morning. Let's just flip through randomly and see if the block has been taken off any channels and anyone's doing a particular program. No one would hear it. 3 people would hear it, and that's including us.
The election coverage.
Oh.
I believe it would be better if we did it in front of a giant Pop-Tart. Could you imagine? Now, why didn't he bring that up?
We could have a big map with the
election coverage
the red
on the
states
Pop-Tart.
And the blue states.
Oh, could you imagine that? Jimmy, let's throw it over to you.
And maybe producer Ben could tell me he's not going onto the election trail so I could pull little pins out of the map
and
as I
try.
Yes,
let's go to Ben for what precincts have checked in already with the election results. With 98% of the precincts reporting in, we can absolutely report that George W. Bush seems to be the winner.
Oh, nice try, Kerry. That'd be a great show.
Yeah, and we could just stay till midnight and do a whole wrap-up of the election.
It'd be like that Mary Tyler Moore episode when they have to stay for election coverage because the machine breaks.
That was
and
really
Ken's there
good.
Talking to a priest, and he's talking to the janitor till 4 in the morning.
You see? There's a bucket of things we can
control.
Mary, dip into the bucket of things we can control. You know, the Red Sox won because they didn't concentrate on the Yankees. It's easy to grin when your bucket comes in. Spalding, we're doing election coverage today.
And you got the election beat.
You'll vote for Kerry and like it. How about a Fresca? Danny, how many precincts are reported in, Danny? You're no gentleman. Hey, I'm no candidate either, all right?
Oh, that just...
made what a
giggle.
meeting. What a meeting. I did notice some blood on my ankle during the meeting. My ankle spontaneously bled. My tendon came out of its sheath.
And speaking of buckets, I hope you slip in one filled with you-know-what.
Jesus. He's our boss. He's attempting to be our first boss. Give him a shot.
I was old Sammy Snooze.
Oh, you really were.
I was dozing in the chair.
What a narcoleptic ass.
We just don't do well with meetings. Never have.
That meeting would not have classified as an extravaganza. It's just awful. But like I said again, it might sound like I'm kissing ass, but nothing against Eric.
I like the guy.
It's pretty much, I remember being in meetings with Ken Stevens over there at Infinity. Same thing. I can't stay awake.
Not really.
During meetings.
Eric didn't have. It's not the same meeting because Eric didn't have his bags packed and yelling and screaming how that
he was quitting on us.
He's quitting as our boss.
Poor Ken, he should have quit.
He should have quit.
He should have quit on us. He would have maybe still had a career.
He would have got his severance at least.
Instead of being out on a little sailboat out there in D.C. Whatever he's doing these days, poor guy.
We love him.
Eric, take a close look at where Ken Stevens is right now and just be careful.
All right. Well,
tends to happen.
So we're making the show more gooder.
More gooder by closing down our production studio for a week.
Right.
Why is it closed down, by the way, if I could ask?
Well, they're upgrading.
Okay.
It seems like something you should do on a weekend, but they're, they're upgrading the
you're better
facility.
off doing that Tuesday through Friday because you're not going to need
Yes, you are. You're better off.
By the
Tuesday
way,
or Friday.
Remember when I said that all these cubicles will be gone?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
That's happening.
When?
We won. we're taking over this whole facility.
We're going to have the entire floor.
Yeah, we
So
won.
all those cubicles go, room for pinball machines and
won.
foosball tables.
Yes.
And Jägermeister machines.
Yeah, a full bar, a green room, a lounge,
How
a
cool
recording
is that gonna be?
area.
A little place for bands to
Oh,
play.
yeah, man.
XM 202. The Opie and Anthony Show.
Know what keeps us awake, though? All the corporate lingo.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hilarious.
We've already, goofed on
the phone yesterday. It's like,
bucket
okay,
analogy.
yeah, we got this idea. Let me tee it up for you.
Yeah, teeing it up.
Let me tee it up for you and tell you.
Tee this up for you.
And then
It's
we'll
like you're teeing it up,
and
getting
then
ready to slam it.
And the other one is we'll circle back around on that, whatever that means.
I don't know what that means.
We're going to circle back around, which means nothing gets done. It just keeps going in circles and circles and circles.
Run it through the mill one more time.
We're going to circle around before we decide on that. Well, yesterday we're talking about this possible like demanding Christmas show or something. It's very primitive right now. We got to try to figure something out. And all of a sudden, was it Kevin?
I'm not sure who said it.
One of the guys goes, well, before we blue sky that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We'll run it around a few times before we blue sky it. Blue sky it.
What the hell
we
does
looked
that
at
mean?
each other, and if I wasn't completely exhausted, I just kind of went.
Anthony and I had a 20-minute conversation on the phone last night trying to figure out what blue sky it means.
Blue sky.
Like, it's a corporate term, and I'm thinking it's some kind of jet analogy. Like, you take off and it's cloudy, and it takes a while to get up above the clouds before you hit the blue sky.
The blue
and then
sky?
And then it's clear sailing.
You sure it wasn't Blue Guy? Maybe a promo for this show?
Yeah, that might be it.
So before we blue sky our O&A Twisted or Demanded Christmas show we're going to attempt to do live on XM Satellite Radio here,
I think
we got to wait for them to blue sky it, whatever that means.
I think it's when you're done with something, when everything's figured out and it's completed. Like if you're in a factory and you're building something, like a car or something, it rolls off the assembly line and then out the door. Now it's under the blue sky. Like when you have an idea and then you run with it, you fix it, you have your meetings about it. Now you're ready to put it out there into the outdoors, the blue sky. You blue sky it.
I like my jet analogy better.
Yeah, but what if your jet takes off on a clear day? It's blue skied right from the start.
Sure is.
You're still not up in the blue sky, though. You still have to,
There's blue sky under the runway.
But you still have to
over
climb.
The runway.
You're climbing up. You're figuring it out. You're figuring out what altitude to fly at.
I think you're looking too deep into it.
And then you even out that plane and you're off and running.
I think you're looking too deep into the blue sky thing.
Oh, crap.
Your pen?
OCD alert.
It just flew over by the monitor.
OCD alert.
Nah, you don't need it. Just forget about it. Don't even think about it.
Oh.
It's over there.
Where is it?
Put it over there.
Oh.
It's under the... There you go. Just
All
don't
is-
tap it.
All is right with the world. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's crazy like that. If he lost that pen, he'd be looking
I
for
got
it
a little
for the
OCD
entire
crap.
show.
It's little stuff. Anyway, yeah, so the blue sky thing. We're going to try to blue sky this Christmas party.
Corporate lingo stinks.
There's got to be a website for corporate lingo. That could
I
be.
looked up some last night, yeah.
You did?
Yeah. It wasn't all that good. Not as good as the ones they make up in Washington.
What's the site? www.boringdouche.com?
The best one, though, is the whole... I'm going to tee this up for you.
Tee it up.
I'm going to tee up this
like
idea
that
for
one.
you.
They like that one.
We're going to tee it up. We're going to try to hit this down the fairway. It might be a big slice, though.
Oh, might hit the trap. Or
Might
God
hit the
forbid
trap.
it ends up in the water.
Didn't use enough club, but he's teeing it up for us.
He's teeing it up. You know something? When you have meetings with anyone involved with the Opie and Anthony show, you can refrain from using the corporate lingo.
Yeah.
You really can. I understand it might fly well with another big corporation you're having a meeting with, or a client perhaps, if you want them to buy the show or something. But when you're dealing with people from this show, all we do is laugh at it and discuss it when we hang up with you on the phone.
Right.
It's not something where we're like, yeah, let's blue sky. We don't take the lingo in and start using it, aside from goofing on it.
Right.
But so you can really refrain from the corporate
Yeah, when you
lingo.
talk to us, use the word dude a lot. Or
That's fine.
Or hey, ass.
Hey, right.
Something
ass.
like that.
Yeah, we're going to,
Let's bring it down a notch.
How about let's discuss the idea, and when we're ready, we'll put it out there.
You got the list?
I have a list of some corporate lingo.
All right, give us a few here.
Drill down.
Drill down.
That's for someone to examine something in detail, feature by feature, regardless of level of management.
Oh, my God, there was another one recently.
Really?
That was told to us.
What was it?
That hasn't... when they're like making deals, XM Satellite Radio making deals every single day.
Yeah.
And we hear about some of these deals they may be making.
Yeah.
But they don't want us to talk about it yet because it hasn't.
What?
Fill in the blank. It was one of the classic ones we heard recently. They're working on a deal. They don't want us to talk about it because it hasn't yet.
Oh. Damn, I can't remember. I keep thinking like incubated or something.
Baked.
It hasn't baked.
It still hasn't been baked.
That made me physically
I
ill.
swear to God, we heard that one from a lawyer lady. They're working on something, but we can't talk about it yet because it hasn't baked yet.
You know what it is? Corporate people are trying so
I know
hard.
what that means?
What?
The deal hasn't been signed.
How about
yet?
We've been working on that offline.
We've heard offline.
Offline,
no?
a term meaning at another unspecified meeting, suggesting that an uncomfortable or technically complex topic be taken offline is an excellent way to put off its further discussion indefinitely. Put that offline. Take that offline. Oh, this stuff makes me nauseous.
We got a guy that knows what blue sky is.
He does?
I think so. Peter in Jersey.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
First, let me tell you guys rock, man. I've been listening to you guys since you guys were on NEW from the early days.
Thank you, my friend.
It's funny because I'm listening to this, and I'm a regional sales manager with a small company out of North Carolina, and I got to deal with these stupid bullshit terms all the time, and everybody always wants the blue sky, any idea we ever start. And basically what it is, it's what they want to do is they just want to, it's almost like taking a white piece of paper. They want a blue sky, like when you paint a picture, you got to start with a blue sky before you put anything else on it. So they want to start from nothing and just like build it from...
Oh, now that's something we didn't see coming.
Nice.
So it's starting from scratch. We're going to blue sky it and just plan from there.
Exactly, and it drives me nuts. We got this bitch regional sales manager from the Midwest who wants to blue sky every idea that comes up. Well, let's blue sky it. I want to fucking strangle half of these.
You know what this is all about? I mean, these corporate people, their jobs are very boring. You know, and they're trying to, throw some excitement into it, you know. But the fact is, it's just boring. It's black or white. That's what their jobs are. It's just black or white.
They don't want to be the bores that they are.
Right, so.
That's it. I was a 34-year-old regional sales manager that was in Mulcahy 10 years ago. And I don't want to deal with this, just tell me what's going on. Tell me the story. Let me answer your question, and let's move on.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
All right, guys, you got it.
All right.
Sync up. We're going to sync up on that issue to have a meeting, especially not necessarily between two people, evidently borrowed from the Palm Pilot lexicon. Sync up. They can't just say, hey, let's have a meeting. Now, let's sync up about the blue skying that issue that we spoke about.
And while you're at it, we need a couple new buckets.
Yeah. And by the way, we should also tee up ourselves. Ugh, assholes.
Proactive, own. You know what own means? To take responsibility for something. Someone who owns something can never claim that they are out of the loop. Yeah, I own that. Great. Results-driven scope creep. What is a scope creep?
I don't know. You tell me.
The gradual inflation of the goals of a project as its leaders imagine more things for it to do. So the scope of it is creeping upward. So it's an idea that kind of gets bigger and has more things put on it.
I figured it was a guy with binoculars whacking his bag in some chick's bushes.
Is that scope creep again out my window? It's such a sad existence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I know you work hard. You go up into the office every day with your suit and everything. What's with these words? I'm so glad I'm in radio in this capacity.
Life in corporate America can be a grind.
All they do is they remove the humor from everything.
And you don't want to worry about your behavior around the office becoming a problem.
I'm standing here with this erection feeling silly.
You're gonna need some sound advice.
Talk less and suck more.
From a qualified professional.
I'm a stand-up comic who hates his own guts.
New from the HIV Corporation. It's the Jim Norton Sensitivity Handbook.
Sensitivity training. Maybe you could send someone from Human Resources in, and they can tickle my bag a little. I can go, ooh, very sensitive area, and then they can leave.
Jim will help you construct a business plan.
Greed is good.
He'll guide you through the hiring process.
Hire all fat chicks if you don't want them harassed.
He's also a whiz at customer relations.
Here's what you do, stupid. When they complain, you go, click. You take the phone, click.
Ladies will also enjoy Jim's wardrobe recommendations.
You send them to training to not have those big tits showing during the workday.
Jim is also an experienced marriage counselor.
How could you marry a chick that won't drink out of your mule?
And he can help mend even the most fractured of family relationships.
I killed my wife with a hammer.
And he'll also assist with time management.
1:30, Human Resources attempts to talk about sensitivity training. 1:35, they are wiping saliva that Jim Norton has spit on them off of themselves as he walks outdoor. End of meeting.
Call 1-800-LOG-DROP for the Jim Norton Sensitivity Handbook. Order today.
Meeting adjourned.